The market is going up and the drop's about to go down. Let's cover it all in this VeVe update. What's up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro. So Here we are on drop date eve. We've got the rise of Ultraman, a 2D drop that is coming right at us. And we also have the market that is now open for a whole lot more people. I'm pretty excited. So let's break it all down and take a look at this drop and then discuss some things that I've noticed with the market. So let's just kick it off here with the drop. Let me pull up the information on the drop. And then also we will look at this technical analysis here and analyze the price action with the OMI token. But first off, here we go. We're going to scroll on up here to the top of the Series 1 Rise of Ultraman, which is on the Medium website. So we're going to take a look at each one of these items and I'll give you my thoughts about what I think the value is going to be with this drop. So everything in this drop, if you don't know it, is going to be 2D art. So some people are saying this is boring or that's some ugly stuff. It's not interactive. Au contraire, mon frere, this will be very valuable because it is something that people who were collecting the comic book back in the days will be able to relate to. This is very similar to the comic book art. So let's just look at the first one. This is going to be the common, the first one that will be released, and it is $39.99, The Rise of Ultraman by Alex Ross. 7,800 of the common, and this is Series 1. It's available worldwide except for Japan and China. They get the shaft on this one, but we don't. So $39.95 and 7,800 is quite a few less than what we had with the DeLorean common 1:6 scaled down interactive version that had 50,000. I think that they were doing that to shut everybody up who were the people that were complaining that they're not able to get anything on these drops. They're not looking to shut people up this time. It's back to business as usual. So if you want to get one of these, you better be in line quick. You better be on the app an hour before and be ready with gems loaded in your wallet. So that's a pretty cool piece of artwork. I do like the way this looks. That's pretty cool. And he's just stomping through this city here. We've got people looking at him, and that is the classic Ultraman that I grew up with his little suit on, not the mechanized version, not the robot, but this is the one that I used to watch on TV back in the 70s. And it was a rerun then. I was in, say, first, second, third grade when I first started seeing episodes of Ultraman when I would visit my grandparents in Detroit, Michigan. All right, so there we have it, 7,800 at $39.99. Let's move on. Now, this is cool looking. This looks like a comic book cover, and I think this one is going to be pretty valuable, again, to the collectors who like the styling of this because it's similar to what they're used to seeing. It's retro, guys. All right, so this one is by Ed McGuinness. And it is going to be a common also, $39.99, 7,800. So what is that? 15,000, 16,400, doing my mental math. There are 16,400 commons for us to fight over. How long are these things going to be available before they sell out? I would estimate they'll be gone within an hour or two because we had 50,000 of the common DeLoreans. And I think it did not sell out, what was it, 24 hours? It might have been later that day. They might have all been gone maybe by that evening. But I think these are going to go a lot quicker. So I would not be surprised if these are gone within 1 to 2 hours of the drop time. What do you think? Post your comments below. Moving right along. Now, this one's pretty cool. We got another one of these retro characters. This is how they used to look in these real corny looking outfits. Again, this looks like a comic book cover. I like it. So this one is the Yuki Kaida. And let's see here. Let's scroll on down. Oh, it's also, I mean, they're all Yuki Kaida. So 49.99 is on the uncommon, and we drop that down to 5,800. Now, what's your strategy? Would you rather go for the commons first to get a low number, or are you going to try for an uncommon first? You better figure that out beforehand. I might try to go for the common and the uncommon first, just so I know I get my hands on something, and then maybe go back and try to go for the next level up. Which this is totally cool. It has a cartoon type of feel to it, a cartoon flavor. I like this one. He's fighting the Cookie Monster or whatever the heck that thing is. Cookie. So this one is going to be an uncommon at $49.99. How many? 5,800. That's a nice number. So this one is by Scotty Young. That's a weird way to spell Scotty. Okay, let's scroll on down. Now this is really cool. This has more of that classic comic book cover feel to it. I like the flavor of this one. That is very cool looking. It has that frame. I like the framing. So this is like putting a framed comic book on your wall. That's why I'm thinking collectors are going to like this. The people who are not into this may not be interested and might not have a value on it, but there's enough people that are collectors that will. $59.99. It's rare, and it only drops down to 4,800. Not bad. And this is by Addy Granov. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, Addy. And then last but not least, here is the yet to be unveiled $69.99 ultra rare that is at 4,500 by Olivier Coipel. That must be en français. Je m'appelle Carlton en français, les fleurs. That's flowers in French, if you wanted to know that. So there's our ultra rare that they will not unveil. It has a drop date to be announced. And then this is my favorite one because, see, that's what Ultraman did back in the day. You know, when he'd shoot people, he'd make that little plus pattern with his arms. That's the Ultraman that I know. And I'm getting this one because I got shafted on that last drop where I had items that were bought that were not delivered because they oversold. It's weird. They have a list price of one gem. I don't know what that means. There's 3,800. And the other interesting thing that I'm seeing here, it says if only this toy could be found on shelves, and it says maybe someday. I don't know what that means. If they're alluding to the fact that they're going to sell a physical version of this, or if they're going to sell more or release more of these ultra rare 2D artworks. Now, they did say that no one's going to be able to buy the 2D artwork because it's only for the people that got the shaft in that last drop. So that's it. What are your thoughts about these items that are going to be dropped? I'd sure like to know. Now, let's move on to the next topic. We're going to talk about the market. So let me pull up my Samsung Galaxy Note Ultra screen here. Let's just pull this over, and we're going to jump on into the market and talk about some things that I noticed. So the market, they've opened it up to several thousand more people. It's glitchy and buggy, but it's doing a lot better. And I've noticed that there are tons and tons of listings on certain things. When you jump in here, let's just go to brands and I'll show you. I'm going to jump into brands. I mean, this is just absolutely absurd. So here's the one-to-one DeLorean. Look at this. There's 721. Okay, the static, 1,507. Who's got time to scroll through all that? Ain't nobody got time for that. And I've got bronchitis, okay? So there are a few bugs because you'll notice that the 1 to 6 interactive does not come up under brand, but it is in the marketplace, and there are a gazillion of them listed. Let me just jump over here. We'll scroll through and we'll look back and see if we can find if there are some commons. So I'm going to go to my collection, my ginormous oversized collection here, and see if I can click that link to finding this on the marketplace. So here's the common. I've got 27 of these. We'll just click the info on one, and usually we have a link, and it does not say that. Okay, usually it'll tell you you can get so many of these in the marketplace, but that's not showing up there. So that's not working. Whoops. Oh boy, I minimized. Sorry about that. Let's jump back in. All right, so going back to the market, there are tons of these things. And here's what I'm noticing with the flood of people jumping on. There's folks selling items for less than what they paid for it. So when we go in here to brands, and let's just say I was shopping today, overbuying, and I was snapping up unicornos, some of my favorite ones. Look at all these that are listed. So let's just jump into Prima Donna here. And 35 bucks, that's a pretty good price there. I pulled off a couple $24 Prima Donnas, and they were pretty low numbers. So you can scroll through here and spend all night long looking and evaluating at the numbers and the prices, and there's no rhyme to reason as to how these are listed. The next thing that I want to see with this marketplace is to update it where you can sort. Please, guys, can we get a sort? You know, when you are looking at, say, your eBay auctions, and this is sold listings, let's just run through here and just check this out for a minute and see what the prices are. We see that the 2D artwork, someone sold it for less than $8.95. That's pretty cheap. Someone sold this one for less than $1,500. There is a 7 for $270, and the common has been somewhere around $100. Now, of course, going from $39.99 to $100, that's about a 2.5x. Here's another 2D artwork at $1,009 that had 3 bids. Here's an ace, super good purchase, $387, because they go for upwards of $500. And so these things are just going to increase in value, and I think the same thing is going to happen on this drop. They're going to be popping up on eBay as soon as they get in there. But at any rate, when you are looking at these things, we can sort. And so we can customize the view. We can sort this based on price. We can sort it based on the distance nearest. You can sort it on free shipping, buy it now versus auction, what have you. Whereas in the market, we can't do that. And so when you have 1,500 of something that are listed in here, you're going to be spending all night. And then after you scroll through several hundred, you're going to notice that the screen is going to blank out because the app starts to come apart. So that's something that I did pick up on there. Here's what I do like that appears to be new. I'll give you a little tip here. And I didn't know this before, but when you click on auctions, okay, here are the bids that I have that are going on right now. And I just bid on a ton of things and then I forget about it. And I wait and I see if people are listing things at awkward times, like it closes at 5 a.m. where people aren't going to be awake checking their bids. You could win some things on cheap prices. But point is, when you go to the auctions, notice that everything underneath here in this tab are items that are closing in under an hour. Well, now it has like 3 hours. Sometimes I'll come in here and it'll say closing in 5 minutes, closing in 10 minutes. So you can pluck off some of these auctions at super cheap prices, okay? Now, what you need to do is go through and see what people are listing these things at. And you'll notice that when you go into any one of these items, you're going to see a great diversity in pricing. Let me show you. Case in point. Let's see if that's going to load. It's not loading, actually. All right. Let's just jump back in. Let's say, for instance, Dick spraying Batman. Here we go. So here we have a $249 and here's a $49. All right. And this guy is selling this $46.76 at a higher price than the lower number at $22.62. So what you're going to notice is you're going to find some steals where people are selling them super cheap and they have no earthly idea of the value when you have a low number. Here's a 73, 78. So what you want to do is come in, and when you see somebody doing this, well, that's an auction. So that's not a direct price there. So when I'm scrolling through, I'm going to take note of the lowest price and the lowest number. So 73 is the lowest amount of gems at around number 4516. And I'm going to go through here and compare anybody else selling in the 70s and see what the mint number is. And then I'll take the one that makes the most amount of sense. So that's the market. Okay, so one little extra tip. Don't forget, tonight or in the morning, as soon as they have this listed, whenever they have each one of the drops, you want to go in and click the little bookmark. And then when they are bookmarked, they will show up in your collections under your wish list. So when I jump back here, here's my collectibles. I'm scrolling down. There's my sets. Here's my wish list. There's the little bookmark. So then you won't have trouble scrolling through when it comes to drop time. You'll be ready to jump right in and grab these things. Okay? All right, well, let's get to the last part of this video and then I am done. let's take a look at the action with the price line. So here we are sitting at a price right now. Let's just maximize this and temporarily get rid of my handsome face. And we are at 0.00637 at the moment, a little bump up in price here. And what I'm noticing is this little stochastic sitting in the oversold zone right here. Okay, so what I'm looking to see happen is this is probably going to dip all the way back down. We're going to go down here probably into a full cycle down into oversold and then jump back up into overbought. Now, how long will that take? Well, the MACD is running at a low point right now. We're printing positive bars here on the histogram. Usually these are green when you look on a trading view chart, but they're red here. But then we do have a crossover here of the fast and the slow line. So what I look for there is for this MACD to make its way back to the zero line and then go on another cycle up. All right. So the oscillator will jump above and below as we go, above and below as we go. There we have it. And then that's the histogram. I'm sorry. And then the oscillator will tell us where we are as far as what's going to happen with the next big price movement. Now, whenever you look back in the past, when we had this big explosion here, look where the oscillators are. They're way high. They're riding high on these peaks that coincide with this price movement. Now, notice after we started to consolidate, this is the consolidation zone here, okay? Notice how the oscillators have settled down. And then when we started to dip down, we were way down here low. And then now as we move up and then back down, we're not going down into the negative area as much. And so what we have is, let me just make another color. We have a big wedge that's happening with the oscillator where the volatility is coming to a point. And so as the crypto market starts to move back up again, usually when you have this wedge action, you should come out of this with a big price movement up. So I'll be looking for some type of a movement back above that 1 cent level. And then after that, I think it's going to be party time. Okay, well, let's bring me back on, and that's about all I've got for today. I would love to know what your thoughts are. What are you going to do with this drop? Which items are you looking for? What is your strategy? Are you going to try to pluck off low numbers on the commons? Or are you going to go for the uncommon first? Or are you going to go for the gusto and get the most expensive one with the lowest count? Post your comments below. I would like to know. So join us on Telegram if you would like. And for new people, just so you know, we keep it clean in the Telegram. No cursing allowed, no foul language, no arguing and crazy behavior. And when we keep a good professional room, it keeps the degenerates and the crazy people out. All you have to do is go look at some of these VeVe traders and VeVe boards and see all of the crazy stuff that goes on. Well, we don't want any of that going on in our group. We have a great Telegram group. I love all my people and we're so glad to have you. But come and join and use your real name because we're real people. When people come in and your name is like #1 or a dot or a symbol, a lot of people who do that are scammers and they usually get bounced. But we want to get to know you and hear your thoughts. Chop it up, share with us, and we'll have a good time. Yay! That is all I have for now. So I will be back very soon and we'll see you with a follow-up report after the drop. I'll have another video for you and we will knock down all of the results and see how we did. This is Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro, and ain't not one bit of this financial advice. I've been forgetting to say that on the last several videos, but I have to say it because there's knuckleheads out there who will come after me and blame me for losing money. So this isn't financial advice. If you do anything that I say in this video, you'll end up in the soup kitchen line. All right, that's it. Peace.